Hello and welcome to Gen AI Live. We here every Wednesday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. And I'm excited to be back. And I'm excited to be sitting virtually next to my co-host, Brian.
Hey, welcome back, Wayne. I'm super excited to see you. For everyone else, my name is Brian Terry. I'm a senior partner solution architect. I mainly focus on Gen AI migrations from other platforms to AWS Bedrock. And I'm super excited to be here with my good friend Wayne. I haven't seen him in a while. And I'm also excited to speak with you about the latest and greatest of what AWS and the Gen AI partners are doing to reshape the industry in the future.
So Brian, it's been a couple weeks since I've been here. I took some travel for work, took some time off. It was good. I'm feeling recharged. But I'm also feeling like in 3 weeks things have probably changed whole leaps and bounds and bounds and bounds. Anything, anything that you want to catch me up on that I missed in the meantime? The big news of the weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always something new happening in Gen AI, especially AWS in this space. It changes from day to day. One of the things that I'm really excited about is our new launch of Nova.amazon.com. If you don't know about this, this is our new site where you can actually go and explore our new Nova models and kind of play with it in our browser. So this is a new feature AWS we just launched, and it allows developers to just go there and play with Nova and just see what's possible with it.
So that's a challenge to all the viewers, right? Like you should go hit Nova.amazon.com and you can prove to the powers that be that this show is getting people to get excited and to activate by helping them watch a big spike in the next 10 seconds. So go do it, but pay attention to
Yeah,
us too.
yeah, absolutely. ANOVA is a fantastic model. I mean, it's one of those multimodal models that do everything from text to kind of video to images. I mean, I'm super excited about this model.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've had the opportunity to play around with it quite a bit. It is really, really capable. Um,
Yeah,
I think one of the cool things about AWS, the way that we approach models, is we like have the belief that different models for different needs, different workloads, different users, different personas and patterns. And I think that Nova fills a really great spot in the overall landscape of models. And I encourage people to give it a roll. I know that my partners have had um, a lot of success using it in all sorts of different places, especially like multimodal, like text and video, a lot of really cool stuff. Loving
I
it.
think what's very interesting about it is like you can run it in Bedrock. And Bedrock, I think, is a fantastic tool, especially for users and our partners, because you can have one platform, you can actually switch different models, from Nova to great partners at Anthropic and actually use those models within the same platform. So, and Bedrock just makes it easy and, handles all that work of just hosting a model and deploying it.
Yeah. Hey, the undifferentiated heavy lifting, right? That's been the calling card of AWS. Let us do the hard stuff, and you guys can do the fun stuff.
Yeah. And it's one of those interesting things, like our partners help us grow. So we have our partners in Bedrock who help us with the solution. And then we have other value partners that build on top of Bedrock that build on top of partner solutions. So,
Yeah.
all in all, when we do things like this, it's just helping the customer and helping the end user, a better
Yeah.
either platform or tool to use every day.
Yeah, right. Like it's at the end of the day, it's all about helping our customers like get the best. Do the things that they want to do, build their businesses, create new businesses, invent new things,
Yeah,
delight the world with all the cool stuff that we can collectively do together when we put our minds to it. Um,
oh, absolutely.
you know, we could talk about this all day, but I'm guessing that people would rather hear our guests. I don't know. So
Yeah.
why don't we bring them on? Why don't we bring on our friends Balu and Melvi from TCS? Come
Hi.
introduce yourself and say hi to the audience.
Yeah. So I'm Melby. I'm with TCS for 30 years, and I'm part of the AWS BU, focused on application modernization DevOps, and Gen AI. So that's what we focus on. And along with me is Balu.
Hey,
So
hi, Wayne, and hi, Brian. Thanks for having us on the show. We are super excited to be part of it. My name is Balu. I'm with TCS for a couple of decades and a lot of experience on IT software services and solution development. I'm certified solution architect AWS and also specialty in data analytics and machine learning. I'm currently focusing on building GenAI based solutions, leveraging GenAI for mainframe modernization. So happy to be on the show and super excited. Thank you.
And welcome to the show, and congratulations on all your certifications.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We love it. I think certifications are like sometimes the unsung heroes of uh, of the world, right? Like you work really hard, but they have a lot of really practical knowledge, and it's a great way to showcase like your skills. So congratulations on that. It's awesome. I love talking to folks who are certified. I also love talking about mainframe modernization because this is a subject that actually comes up in my day to day, probably daily. Um, and and so Balo and Melvi, like let talk us through a little bit about how you guys are thinking about mainframe modernization, especially with the power of generative AI to sort of facilitate what might have once been too heavy of a rock to lift.
yeah,
Sure.
so
Let me go on, but
yeah,
I request Melvi to bring up the slides, please. Um, so when it comes to mainframe modernization, right? Mainframes have been been a host for large organization for many decades. Okay, so they bring on a complex business logic that is built over many generations. So it is very difficult to intricately understand the nuances of the business logic. Okay, so that's where many of our organizations are facing the challenges when it comes to the mainframe modernization. And to add to that is that the skill gap. Okay, the number of people who are knowing the mainframe technologies, especially like assembler or PL1, the talent pool is getting reduced. So all this brings up, increases the timeline for migrating a mainframe application into an AWS cloud. So that's where GenA is bringing a lot of differentiation. And on the screen, you will be able to see like what are those high potential areas where GenA can contribute. So when it comes to the modernization, there are different stages. Like you do want to understand or discover the legacy application, and then you wanted to do an architecture or design for the modern AWS-based equivalent solution, and the building and testing and the deploying. Okay, so when we saw GenAI evolution, initially there were only few potential cases, but as GenAI keeps evolving, right, models are becoming having larger context windows and having multimodal and an agentic AI, we are seeing that the number of green boxes where we have the potential are filling the gray boxes. So right now we see a lot of potential for Gen AI, and yeah, it really helps accelerating the modernization process. Now I request Melvi to also contribute for
yeah.
Java
So
modernization.
for the Java modernization also, it's one of there are different challenges as well. So like Balu said, we do have the skill gap, but we also have issues with deprecated code. That especially these versions keep moving every few years, and it's difficult for companies to keep it in place. And so you find at least half of their application stack getting outdated and gets difficult to manage. So those are scenarios where you think, okay, can I have something that will help mitigate my risk, reduce my risk as much as possible, and help us be successful in these modernization journey. And that is where GenAI can also help.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
go to the next slide? I just wanted to talk about what are the various models that we are seeing in the GenAI spaces come to the modernization phase. So if you see pre-2022, largely we have been collecting the data, training models, and then running the inferences. That was happening in the traditional machine learning world. But when after 2022, when we have the GPT launch, and things suddenly started taking a different shape. So right now we have three different models. I will quickly touch upon them. Like first is a direct transformation. That's where you consume the closed book models like Anthropic or ChatGPT. You directly consume it and then you convert the code. or you can also use vector db and rag on top of it. So that's one type where you have the direct transformation. And next comes is the indirect transformation, where you take a set of code and then you break down into chunks, and then you do the transformation in parts. So that's the indirect transformation. And the last one, which is the custom built model. These are models which are built ground up for mainframe modernization use cases. So those are very less, but it's very costly. So if you go from left to right, the cost goes up because you want to train a custom model, and also the manual review is also decreasing from left to right. So if you have a direct model, you may have to do a lot of manual interventions, but when we go to a custom built model, that may be less. So there are various nuances, but this is the largely the pattern that we are seeing on Gen AI especially for legacy modernization.
So I have a question for you. Why, ultimately, like our customer, the owner of the mainframe is going to have to make a decision. What of these three models is going to make the most sense for their transformation? Like, why would they choose 1, 2, or 3, or 3, 2, or 1?
Right. So it all depends on their landscape. Okay. So when you have, we have seen places where companies have distributed and small applications. So the size of each application may be small, but there are a number of applications over there. Okay. So in that case, going for a fine-tune model may not be the best thing. Whereas we have seen that direct transformation yield more good results because they were able to process individual components better. Okay. And when it comes to larger applications, right, so that's where, because of the constraints of llms, it may not be possible to convert large application as such. So that's where when you go for a user defined or custom built model where is specifically trained for mainframe modernization. So to answer your question, it's all depends on the individual company and the size of the applications, the nature of how they have the architecture of their legacy application. It all goes with that.
Cool. Just to double click on that, how do you help the customer make these decisions? What does it look like when you go into an organization and you say, "Hey, we're going to do a modernization"? What does that path look like to find their model that they need in order to perform this action?
Sure. Well, we
So
want to take the question.
yeah, so we have two different ways. One is from the Java side. I can start on that. So what we do is, again, we when we look at Java applications, we have all of this started off with GenAI and saying that, can I use GenAI to help even in this modernization journey? So we have the ability to upload a Java application, and you start off with saying, how do I find out the dependencies of these Java files, right? And each of them, how are they interconnected? Then comes the issue of, okay, I got this. I can narrow it down to a specific area that I would like to get into details and try to do a conversion there. And for those, we go to the next stage of doing the class diagram, the sequence diagrams. We also give you the business rules. We are able to extract the business rules for the Java application. Why is this important? Example is when for one of our customers, we actually did a transformation. We extracted the business rules and went back to the business team, and they said, "Hey, these are these are old way of doing it. We have changed our thought process. These are not relevant again." So think of the effort that you would have taken if you just done this lift and shift or migration and then gone to the customer. So we have the ability to break these in phases so that you can get feedback and change based on the organizational needs. So on the after that, you look at the right side, you will see modernization. We have the ability of Amazon Q Transform. So it has that. So it's a lift and click. We call this as a low touch. We break it up into three types: the low touch, the medium touch, and the high touch. The low touch is the ones like your Amazon Q. You just click it can transform most of the Java code, and then you'll be able to move forward. The medium touch is where you will have tools like what we are offering. And the high touch is where you do a complete rewrite of the Java applications, right? To achieve some of this, you may need to do the identify example. If you go towards microservices, you may want to have the ability to break it up based on the application. What is the business domain? There are different techniques that we look at for going towards microservices. Use that, and this is again a recommendation. And as a development team, you have the ability to tweak it and refine it, and then take it forward to the next stage. And to wrap it up, not you have to go through the testing phase. You want to ensure that nothing breaks. GenAI has played a huge role in this, specifically on creating test cases and test data. So this is very specific for the Java modernization, and this is how we have this. This is a reference architecture that we thought would be relevant as well. So more or less, this specific on the Java. Balu can talk about the modernization. But is there any questions here or?
No, this is super exciting stuff.
No, it's cool.
What you guys doing here is really nice.
Yeah, I was also actually kind of curious. So like the core mainframe, like that's definitely part of the story to the larger enterprise modernization, but that's not really like the whole of it, right? Because there's like there's UI, and there's data that sit sort of to the left and to the right of the mainframe. I have to imagine that you guys have an opinion on sort of how you modernize those as well.
Right.
Could you share with us?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to mainframe, right? So it is a composition of multiple different components. It has the application program, it has your screens, it has your badge. So it involves multiple components, and there are variety of utilities that support these components. So we need to, when it comes to the mainframe modernization, we need to see that as a holistic thing, where we just not produce only a simple solution that solves one problem. We need to see how we can solve the entire problem. Okay, so that's where we have developed multiple use cases that covers if you see in the first screen as you show about the different phases, right? So we try to cover a GenAI based solution for each of the phase. So starting from application discovery, that's when you understand a particular legacy application, what are the components involved in it, how the components are integrated together. So there we have used GenAI to develop application discovery feature. Then coding insights, so that provides more details about the business rules that are embedded within the programs. So all the details about the various different integrations, so that we can produce. And forward engineering, that's where you've done the reverse engineering, right? So you have the specifications. So how about doing a forward engineering, converted or migrating into cloud? So we have GenAI solutions that can generate AWS architecture for the given user story or for the given reverse engineering document. We can do that. And then the code conversion, right? So that's where you convert an application from, let's say, COBOL from mainframe to Java on the modern tech stack. So we have features that does that. And it's not just the programs, and we also have the screens. So that's where we can convert legacy the screens that has terminals that goes by keystroke into a modernized web application, so that runs on React, and it provides more of a clickable interface. So it's not just a one-to-one conversion, it's just a modernization of the entire screen as such. So we do that, and then we also, it's not all the things, the supporting layer is your data. So we also need to consider the data migration as well. So we also bring GenAI where it can convert your legacy schema, so let's say like DB2 on mainframe, to Postgres on your target web stack. So we have features for that as well. And also we have all these things needs to be tested and validated. So again, we use GenAI to create test cases, test scenarios, and also the generating synthetic test cases, because when it comes to the legacy modernization, you may not find a lot of test data, so we may have to generate them synthetically. So we use GenAI for that as well. So, and also create like unit testing and integration testing, all these JUnits and Python scripts, etc. So we cover the entire phase of the legacy modernization with the power of GenAI.
So
So I
And
know you can't. I know you
yeah.
can't give like a hard number, and I wouldn't ask you. I wouldn't ask you to. But like, it strikes me that the story that you just told is you save orders of magnitude of effort by leveraging Gen AI. Is that fair? Like, it seems like you're massively accelerating the transformation through this intelligent use of Gen AI. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
That is fair assessment, and we have done a couple of assignments as of today with multiple customers, and our teams who are using our solutions to accelerate it, they are super excited, and they could really feel the potential that brings on. That in fact adds more confidence because we started it's in the early stages, so that adds a lot of confidence in our solution as well. So we are seeing a massive amount of productivity and efficiency gain. That's especially on now because we have experience on this mainframe modernization as a TCS for a long time, so we could able to see the difference that GenAI is able to make. Yeah, maybe we can go to the next slide. I just wanted to cover a high level of the architecture of our solution. So this is the high level architecture. It's a super high level. We do have a lot of intricacies within that. So we do bring in a web-based application, and this is a serverless architecture, okay? And it can be scalable, and it can be customizable. And we use Bedrock as our core Gen AI services. So that helps us to kind of switch models as and when it comes on. And we use a lot of different agentic AI frameworks in the back. Because when it comes to the Gen AI, it's for the mainframe modernization, it's different components. So we need to do it in steps. So this is a high-level architecture, and it's a serverless. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to add on, I think one thing is in even legacy stack, you will have UIs where you don't even have the code. So we have the ability to even create or generate code just by taking a wireframe or a screenshot of that. So, and all possible with GenAI. It's not something that even stored procedures, so in the open systems, it used to be a lot of business logic written in stored procedures and all that, right? So now think of it when they want to migrate from one database to another. We complement the AWS DMS as well. And one of the key things is I can convert this to Postgres. I can also convert this to a Java application. So all of those are things that's only possible with GenAI now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
With
that's really
using
cool.
Gen AI, how has this increased the performance of these mainframe migrations or the time frame?
Yeah, we have been seeing the difference from months to weeks. Okay, um, um, I can't put a hard number to it because we have seen difference in different companies, primarily because the way they maintain their legacy application, the complexity of the application, it do vary between simple to complex. So it's hard to put a number to it, but I would say it's just transforming from months to weeks.
Awesome. Super exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
is. You know what? It kind of. I just want to say that's mind blowing. Like if you had said 5 years ago, like we're going to introduce technology that can do something that used to take you months and do it in a week or two, like that, it actually really is incredible. It's like
And
magic.
and that's important because see, long time back, people were reluctant to take that plunge because one, it
Yeah,
takes too long. It's expensive, and GenAI has just brought this shortened
Yeah.
the duration, made it cheaper. So
Yeah, and,
yes.
and not only that, its understanding of the context has been mind blowing because when you go to legacy applications, a lot of difference. For example, if I want to give simple example, we did it for one of the customers, and they have a mainframe program which has abbreviated variables, something like ACSV, and something that a person cannot. It's not easy for them to understand unless they are a specialist in insurance. But when we did the job documentation, it was able to identify that it's an accumulated cash surrender value, and we were literally mind blowing, like how it was able to bring that sort of a context from a very little abbreviated variable. So that is the level. So how it can reduce your effort. It's just an example.
Wow.
So when it comes to that, I
Interesting.
just wanted to touch upon some key differentiators that our solution. So Melvi, yeah. So I'll start with mainframe and then hand it over to Melvi. So we have, as part of this our solution, we have a customized prompt store. So when it comes to like so for mainframe modernization, so much different variations of patterns, right? So even if you take one particular language like COBOL, there are several different variations of COBOL, and the way the legacy program has been structured. It's not difficult. It's difficult to bring one set of prompts to solve every solution. So you need to have a customized prompt for each of the patterns. That's what we bring first based on experience from mainframe experience as part of from TCS. Okay. And we also, on top of that, when we are providing intelligence, we also augment with GenAI for all our use cases, which I have shared before. It's all augmented with GenAI assistance, and it's very context aware. So it just provides a response for a particular customer in their context. And we are leveraging Bedrock. So we are GenAI proof. Like, if we have a latest models coming on GenAI, it's easy for us to switch different models to get into the latest model. And latestly, we are also done with Sonnet 3.7 when it is launched. So we will be able to quickly switch to Sonnet. So that's one of the biggest things. And all of our solution comes with composable and tailorable solution that customer can use whatever feature they want. And also it's a serverless architecture, so you don't have to provision infrastructure, because companies may have like few hundreds to thousands. So you don't have, it's highly scalable, so you don't have to provision fixed infra, then spend the cost. So it's already scalable. So those are some of the key differentiation as part of mainframe. So I would like Melvi exploring
Correct. So,
for Java.
and very similar on the Java side as well. So, of course, the ability to go down to the root level or the component level. And something unique is the microservices also. So we're experimenting on that, and the ability to give a recommendation here. So it doesn't. We don't just blindly transform, but it's like keeping the developer in the loop. So you still have the ability to tweak it before you do a forward engineering. So those were key things that we thought would be useful for customers in their journey.
Awesome. Well, we only have a few minutes left. I mean, this has been a exciting conversation. Can you tell us where we find out more information about your company and some of your use cases?
Yeah. Company is www.tcs.com. You will get a lot of details there. So this is the largest IT organization in India. So of course, and we are proud to be
Yeah,
TCS.
and
So
also we are a proud partner of AWS, and we also
AWS as
certified in
well.
GenAI
So
service certified partner. And right now we also have attended the Amazon Nova session last week, and we are super excited. And we are going to also experiment with Amazon Nova in the coming days. So
and
super
in fact,
excited.
these solutions are there as part of the AWS partner portal. So if people want to look in, so this shows that the close tie-up we have with AWS.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen.
Yeah, no,
Thanks
this
for
is
having me.
inspiring stuff. Well, I
Thank
would
you very
love
much.
hearing, I love hearing about all the things that you're doing and how you're doing it. Um, it has been a real pleasure having the both of you on.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It's our
Thank you very
pleasure.
much. Thanks for your time.